And a warm welcome to BWEA 31 from here in Liverpool. This is the largest BWEA event of all time, with a 33% increase on the same event last year. And in a survey done in the auditorium just a few minutes ago, well over 75% of all delegates have come to a BWEA event for the first time this year. That's a clear indication that we're talking about a sector that's going through dramatic change. And in the words of Maria McCarthy, the Chief Executive of the BWEA, wind energy has never been top of agenda as far as the politicians are concerned for the last 30 years. There is palpable opportunity that can be sensed within the auditorium here in Liverpool. So the BWEA has a right to be proud of its achievements. The first gig of wind energy took 14 years to deliver. The last gig of wind energy was delivered in just 12 months. So a tremendous success. And Adam Bruce, the chairman of the BWEA, went further and he said there are three really important messages that we should be getting across to the people of this country. Firstly, that wind energy has dramatic impacts as far as climate change is concerned. A vital point as we go into negotiations in Copenhagen later this year. The second point was that it will also help to keep the lights on. This is energy that works. It will be available to the people of this country quickly. And the third, and equally important, is the fact it's affordable. To coin a phrase, he said we must go out there and tell people that by using renewable energy, we will actually cut fuel bills. For those of us who've been to the BWEA events in the past, the number of exhibitors who are here has increased dramatically, and we can see that. This is an industry that's coming of age. But there is one thing which not a lot of people are actually talking about, a problem that is going to undermine our ability to deliver the wind energy that this country needs. And that problem needs to be examined in more detail. Of course, to say that this is an unspoken problem is a gross exaggeration. It's not. We all know what it is. But the statistic that was used for the first time today was really quite shocking. 75% of all onshore wind farm applications fail. So we all know that the issue is gaining more planning permissions for wind farms and for ancillary sites to support wind farms. With that being the issue, what we should be doing is reconsidering our approach to communications. And Adam Bruce came up with a really interesting point. He said that the industry's traditional approach, which is precautionary and incremental, should be changed. We must be prepared to come much more on the front foot to get our messages across. And we must communicate particularly with the general public in a much more robust way. And who better to talk about robust communications than dear old John Prescott? And John Prescott turned up today with a really interesting point. What right do we have to ask the people in China to cut their carbon emissions if the people in this country are not prepared to accept alternative energy being built within our countryside? Ed Miliband couldn't join us at conference here today because he's taking part in the pre-discussions ahead of Copenhagen in December. But one of the things that he said, which I thought was a very interesting point, was he said that we must get across to the general public that the biggest threat to the British countryside doesn't come from wind turbines, it comes from climate change. And clearly one of the things we must do as communicators is get across this connection between people's behaviour and its impact on the environment. So we have a lot of communications work to do. So effective stakeholder dialogue, of course, is one approach that we should be using, but there's much more to it than that. If there's a change of government next year and IPC is swept aside, then our ability to communicate, particularly with local political decision makers, is absolutely essential. So we have a lot more talking that we need to be doing. And maybe the next time that you need to talk to somebody about communications, you should be talking to us.